Going live. You're live.
Hmm.
Hooray.
Whoa, this thing is crazy. All right, everybody. Thanks for showing up to the pre-show show. You know how we like to do 5 minutes or 5 people. We've already got 5 people, but technically one of them is me.
There's 6 and 4 likes, so...
Oh, my God. Should we just get, right into it?
I mean, it's whatever.
Let's give it a couple minutes. At least maybe people need to show up. I like to...
Have some vamp time.
Yeah, 5 minutes or 5 people. I never thought we'd break 5 people before 5 minutes, so...
So, hi, Kayla. Hi, Joe, Andy.
Everybody, welcome,
Mom.
welcome. Can everybody or anybody hear me? I am watching this and I don't hear myself.
Mark says hello.
Hello, Mark. Welcome to the show.
There's 6 and 4 likes, so...
Oh, so it is working.
Yes.
Perfect.
Mom says sure can.
Perfect. Turns out what happened was I hit pause. This stupid thing.
Awesome.
Anywho, welcome everybody. Everybody can confirm. Yes, great. Everyone can hear. This is the first time ever. Somebody get me a plaque. This is the first time ever I've gotten an audience member to participate and tell me they could hear me. Oh my God. What is today's date? The 19th. 3/19/21 will go down in infamy, where we don't do a whole show completely without audio and someone doesn't say something.
Or one-sided audio. Or only hearing one person talk to themselves.
So with a lag, Kayla,
There's always a lag.
in regards to what what is the benchmark is my question.
It's probably 45 seconds.
Yeah, I'm sure there's latency because it has to go through OBS and then to YouTube. YouTube does its little magical sprinkle powder to it. And that takes time, apparently. They added a new thing. Like, if you upload a video, they say, okay, we'll upload it, process it, and then, bam, we'll also, before we even upload it, we'll check it for copyright for you, just in case, so you don't have to get a pesky strike later.
Andy says, welcome to the TMNT 3 Manhattan Project finale.
I've got a controversial opinion, Andy. I was going to save it for the show, but since you brought up the Turtles, I've been playing a lot of the Hyperstone Heist on the Sega Genesis. I think I like it better than Turtles in Time.
What?
It's a weird thing to say because I've tried it in the past and found it lackluster, but I took a nice deep dive into it, and I think, in my personal opinion, the Hyperstone Heist holds together better than Turtles in Time. And one of the things that really makes it or breaks it is the unskippable cutscenes in Turtles in Time are not there in the Hyperstone Heist. So you're constantly just moving through levels, kicking ass, not having to wait around for these slow and monotonous cutscenes that you have to go through all the time because you're always dying.
He says liar.
No, it's true. It's true. I want to stream it because it's so fun. I honestly miss the voices like Big Apple, 3 a.m., Technodrome, or Let's Kick Shell. I miss all that because there's all the different things are different, obviously. And it is basically, it's the same company, Andy. The same company made it. It's Konami made both of the games. They just had to switch it, a couple of things. One thing I like, and I didn't think I would, and maybe that's what it took me a while to click in. With the Hyperstone Heist, it is incredibly difficult to throw enemies. Almost impossible to throw them at the screen, but incredibly hard to get them to do that you're over the shoulder back and forth sort of thing. But they make up for it by having a dedicated run button, which I like. We can talk about it later, Andy, because tonight we are going to be doing something completely different from what we are talking about now.
Yes.
Krista, let's hear the music. Or maybe we won't.
It's playing.
Do
you have it muted on the mixer?
Maybe. Yeah, probably. Now try. There we go.
To FFOP Radio.
Reach the
Hey everybody and welcome to the show. My name is Dave. It's the live show. Forgot to put this baby back here so you get to watch that. It's Flamingo Friday. I sometimes turn off sliders on the mixture. Sometimes.
Mixture.
That time was this time, and that button was the button that provides all the sound effects.
Yes.
Anyway, guys, thanks for showing up. It's Flamingo Friday. As you can see, I'm decked out. Got the Flamingo logo there. It must be really hard to be a weatherman because everything is transposed. Anywho, let me.
They have like a whole class on that.
No, it's just a matter of it's like using a mirror. You just have to, but it's switched again, kind of, because here it is, and it's over my right shoulder, but on it's whatever. It's swapped again. Guys, welcome. You can hear Krista, obviously.
I'm here.
I can't pipe in her video yet because it's tied to the thing we are going to watch.
Oh.
So you'll pop up when we start watching it. But I did get a little peek, a little taste of what we have to come. It's a nice big long block of 90s commercials, and they get weird pretty quick. So
like the first one.
yeah, it gets weird. So does anybody want to take any bets or wagers on any products we are going to see tonight? Like obviously the big ones we're going to see. Does anybody have any I made this thing last time too, and I said, I hope we're obviously going to see the Juicy Fruit commercial. Never saw it. I don't think for any of the commercial parties we've had, I've still yet to see a Juicy Fruit commercial.
Mm-mm.
I think we've seen Double Mint.
I was going to say, that's the one that I remember. I don't remember a Juicy Fruit.
But where's my GD Juicy Fruit? Hopefully tonight. Fingers crossed. So that's what my hope is. My bet is we're probably going to see a lot of... because it's from 90 to 92, I think the block is we're watching. No, sorry, I'm an idiot. 92 to 97.
Oh.
So it's going to be a big swath.
Yeah.
The early 90s were very different from the late 90s.
Yeah.
I hope we also see a whatchamacallit commercial because I like that song.
A classic Mentos commercial, Vathis says.
Classic meth. Yeah, of course.
And Glue Face Bear. And he says creepy-ass Gushers commercials.
Yeah, Gushers were crazy. The two weird commercials that you guys both bring up are very weird for very specific things because the Mentos were like this European ad. So it was like a bunch of robots pretending to be humans and running off of food pills. and like the Gusher commercials are like these little monsters living off of toxic sludge.
Gross. Yeah.
But yeah, let's go ahead and get things rolling. Get everything faded in here. So I'm sure you can hear this. Hopefully, if I need to turn it down or up, let me know. All right, so a nice cover girl commercial. Those are always nice, inoffensive.
Yeah.
Lots of ladies spinning in dresses. Makeup commercials are always the same. It's just somebody dancing around or staring at a camera or like
always touching their face.
Yeah, they're always like smiling and twirling their hair. Like, who in the fuck is doing that?
Andy says, "Up, please."
Up the volume.
In a world of sweeping changes,
In a world.
there is one certainty.
Sweeping
The
brooms.
financial strength of the Prudential. Rock solid.
Boring.
Insurance and real estate.
When most jeans makers look at women, they see men.
Am I right?
I need jeans with a little more room in the hips.
What's the
Why else would we keep
justification?
trying to
Why do
sell
they say
men's jeans
that?
to women?
More snug.
Because
in
women
the
should be wearing
waist.
dresses, David.
Well, I like a little looser fit in the thighs.
Has nobody ever let a woman make a pair of jeans before, like the 90s?
Nope.
Woman's body. Lee
Women
relaxed
belong
fit
in a
jeans.
kitchen with an apron and a dress on.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they can't have comfortable jeans.
But when would they wear them?
When you're cooking, cleaning, when you're on the go, taking the kids to soccer practice, anytime, day or night, you need to wear pants is what I'm getting at. Cooking steaks, mopping, all sorts of latent things. Oh, this is Dr. Giggles, I think. Yeah, Dr. Giggles.
Now playing.
That movie, that commercial for that movie scared me. I was like, ugh. Back in the day, obviously, not right now. I'm fine with it right now.
Are you sure?
Mostly. Look how young John Cleese was, and even then he was old.
Is he still alive?
Yeah, sure. I'm sure, yeah. I would have heard if John Cleese died.
You got an in with the family?
No, he just like I feel like
I don't know who he is.
if
so.
anyone in Monty Python dies, I feel like I will get an impacted ass full of it for a month afterwards. Like, yeah, Monty Python. When one of them goes, it's going to be epic proportions of like sadness among the nerd community. Oh yeah, that's a fucking V6 Toyota. That'll haul hundreds of pounds.
Just hundreds.
Basically. I do love those trucks though. Little two banger or two cab, 4-banger rather. They don't make those anymore. Even now the Ford Ranger is humongous. Have you looked? Let me stop this. I don't want to get distracted by another commercial. Have you guys looked at the Ford Ranger? They brought it back. Back in the day, it was like 2010. They were like, we're done with it. Nobody wants a small truck anymore. And everybody's like, hey, where are all our small trucks? And everybody was like, oh, we thought you didn't want them. So they brought back the Ranger, and it's as big as the F-150 practically. Like the F-150 is now a barge, and the Ranger is now what the 150 was.
Oh. Vatha says, fun fact, John Cleese's real last name is Cheese.
And with a comedy icon like that, why not keep the cheese?
Andy says, the Dr. Giggles box used to give me the
Diarrhea.
Ghiblies in the rectal store, in the rental store.
Ghiblies in the rectal store. Yeah, the rental store was a great place to get unintentionally exposed to like things you shouldn't.
Yeah.
I remember, especially if it was like not a chain, because we had a video store down the street. It wasn't a Blockbuster. It wasn't a Hollywood Video. It was a nothing. It was a no-name, locally owned place. And they'd rent anything to anybody, and they kept whatever covers on the shelf. So you could accidentally walk into like a horror show as a child and you're not ready for it, or you could walk into a very strange aisle that makes your pants tight and you don't quite understand what's happening until you're exposed at the end of the aisle. Video stores were strange. You were exposed for the world to see as you were like, with Netflix or whatever your perversion is now, you can do it from the comfort of your couch. Back in the day, you had to go into a shop and manage people and like try to find something that you wanted to watch that didn't make you look like a weirdo. Unless you're the type of person who didn't give a shit, and then you're like, ugh, right. You know how to stay away from them.
The fucking Ghoulies box, Andy says.
Oh, yeah, the Ghoulies. Oh, my God, with the toilet. Tell me about it.
Michael Landon's daughter reveals intimate details about his private life.
Oh, my. That's another thing that happened a lot. Like, Michael Landon died, and he was in the tabloids for the next 30 years. Like, I feel like somebody was puppeting his corpse and like making him produce news or like notoriety. It's weird. I don't know much about Michael Landon aside from he's dead and he was in a Little House on the Prairie.
Big business, so everybody says theirs is a
I've never seen
car.
that.
Right, tell me it
Me
has
neither.
90 cubic feet
Seems
of
boring.
space
Yeah.
like a Subaru Legacy then. Enough room for 5 so you're close but not touching.
Look at this. This Subaru looks like the ones they make today.
Like the Legacy. There's enough noise
I mean, when they
already.
show it eventually.
Tell me
I mean,
how
it's a little
productive
boxier,
you
but
are.
it's the same like hatchback type shit.
My family, not some other
Don't
family.
bother
I don't care
changing
so much
good
about.
stuff.
Tell me I have the money. I want to know what to drive.
I mean, yeah, because the Legacy's been the Legacy for like 400 years.
Right.
Jim, give me a Bud Light.
Hey, Jeff. Uh-oh, Bud Patrol, time to drive up a building. God damn it, Baylor commercials are so fucking stupid.
When it comes to clean, fresh,
We don't give a fuck about gravity here at Bud Light.
Bud Light delivers.
This reminds me, if you've seen Clerks the Animated Series, you know that part where Randall and Dante are climbing with the rope and they're like, boing, 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 and then a flower pot falls and the camera orients itself and we see that they're actually walking across flat ground. They say, why are we walking like this?
Vatha says, don't you dare besmirch Little House. Dave.
I can't besmirch it. I've never watched it. I could just say that my impression is it seems boring.
Yeah.
Like as a kid, it would be like, you'd take a sick day or whatever and you'd see it on the TV and you'd say, it's either that or Donahue.
That and like Little Women also, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like the books, like the book covers or whatever it always looked boring and I was like, meh.
Like, that's the thing. Like, as a kid, you don't realize the story is a story. A good story can be a good story regardless of the setting.
Yeah.
But still, even as an adult, like, whatever. The thing is, now that I'm diving back into all these old movies with Scott over at Raiders, like, before a certain time period, it was like acting did not require any urgency. Or like believability. It was just like, yeah, it's like kind of still a play. So it's like, oh, I got bit by a snake. Oh my God. Oh, we're gonna.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's like they're all reading the lines and they're all doing like the appropriate actions for those lines. But that's what hinges everything. if I don't believe what's happening on screen, it's also still seems boring.
Yeah.
I'm not taking that back.
I always tell my customers, be sure to
Get out of my office.
I should have listened to myself. Citibank for me. The other day,
Citibank? Uh-oh, fraud! But it's the 90s!
stuff on my card number. Citibank suspected fraud.
I love how
They said I would be
burglars
responsible for the charges.
were and still are portrayed in the media. Like, they're buying jewels. Like, if someone steals your credit card, they're like a crackhead looking to buy a flat screen. They're not like, oh, pearls.
I couldn't afford to lose a golf
Get a
tournament
sweet ruby.
to diarrhea. I needed relief.
Diarrhea!
Uh-oh.
Introducing new
Kaopectate 2.
Something I could
Return
rely
of the
on,
killer
so I can play all day
Kaopectate.
without worrying.
I love golf, but I hate diarrhea.
I can wear white and not be afraid.
This is Kaopectate 2 is made specifically for the golfer's rectum.
Were the sand traps.
Sand traps or crab traps.
In one dose.
I don't want to get caught in a porta-john out in a...
Oh my God.
What a... Whoa, it's from... it's the same ant from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. And a spider from Pee-wee's Playhouse. And a roach from hell. Ugh. I think there should be a law that says you cannot depict realistic insects in commercials. Makes me sick. All their disgusting exoskeletal parts moving together on their external ligaments. Blech.
Across the board.
Do you shit yourself on the backswing?
No.
Try
The
Kaopectate.
price of home improvement.
I shit myself on the front of the arc. Once it reaches the apex, that's what I let go. It rockets me to the next hole.
Kaopectate 2 Electric Boogaloo. I think everything that's a 2, it automatically is Electric Boogaloo. Regardless.
Or the terror resurfaces. Or Return of the Killer.
Or Kaopectate 2, Kaopectate harder. Says Kayla.
TKO pectate. It's not a pun, but still clever, right?
How good.
I appreciate how everybody is spelling Kaopectate correctly every time they type it.
Well, I mean, it was on the screen. It's impossible not to. You'd have to go against the grain, like, totally. Look at this. Back in the 90s, they were like, hey, eat cake and lose weight, you idiots. Now everybody's fat, and we're like, what happened?
And still eating cake.
Fat-free and cholesterol-free, the two things your brain runs on. Don't give it to them. But Entenmann's, you can fucking eat the shit out of that.
Roach from Joe's apartment.
Yeah, they all sang and danced and did all kinds of sort of stuff.
Andy says, I always love these car commercials that want me to fit a whole little league team in my car.
Yeah, why do they always want you? Like, if you have one kid, they automatically assume you're gonna pump out 6 more, or like you're gonna like have a soccer kid or a basketball kid. Oh, hold on, we got something happening here. Hello?
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 Hey, look who it is.
Oh, dude, you want to talk about boring and you want to talk about getting fat and you want to talk about bad acting? I'm your Huckleberry.
Wait a minute, were you listening to the show?
Yeah, just for a couple of minutes.
Oh, well.
I got a life, bro. I'm doing other stuff. But, man, hey, I just wanted to call in quickly and drop by. I hope I'm not interrupting any more of your deep thoughts or anything.
No, by all means.
But,
Ocean spray can wait.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yes, it can. But no, it can't. But yes, it can.
Mhm.
But no, I just wanted to say hi. And a little bird told me that it was your wedding anniversary, and
That
I
is true.
wanted to wish you and Krista all the best, and love you guys. And well, here's to many more. I'm
Well,
drinking wine.
thanks.
I don't know what you're doing.
We're
So,
having coffee.
full disclosure, just in case anybody's in the dark about what's happening, this is Popeye. In case you didn't know,
It is
Popeye's
Popeye.
calling in.
Hi.
Patron
Hi.
saint of the show, Popeye.
I don't know where that title came from exactly. I'm not sure how to live up to it, but
Well,
much obliged.
Your face is on, on our merch, so.
Right.
On some stuff, sure. Yeah.
So-
yeah. Again, don't know why, but yeah, that's cool.
So while
Thanks for
Popeye's
that.
here, I have a gift for you that I want you to open
For
on,
me?
on the
Oh,
camera.
God damn it. All right.
Everybody says hi. My mom says hi, Popeye, Mark.
Yeah, I'm
Kayla.
sure everybody.
Everybody
Aw.
says hi.
Well, hi back, everyone.
All right, here we go. Okay, it says FFOP scrapbook. Look at that. Oh, look, it's a picture of the logo.
Oh, look. It's a lot of things.
Oh,
but-
yeah, it's a hey, look at all that. There's Alex and Andy, and there's Adam, and there's everybody. Wow, there's PJ. Look, it's a whole scrapbook about the show. Look, there's Mark.
Yeah, Mark is in it.
Look at that, everybody. I'm sure everybody was involved at some point, so you...
I mean, yeah, everybody was
Probably.
involved.
Wow, that's cool. Thanks. And Popeye called and everything? It's not even a
He's
special
also
occasion.
in there.
Oh, I'm sure he is. It's not probably super exciting to watch a man read a book. So I'll,
Speak for yourself.
I'll read it later. But I appreciate it. Gosh. So what's new with you, Popeye?
Oh, not much. We're just we're painting baseboards.
Still, yeah, I remember that from the last time we
yeah.
spoke.
Yeah, it's still happening. We have a lot of baseboards, and yeah. So we're doing that because that's how we like to party. Yeah. So yeah. Otherwise, no, not really much else. Well, and you know how it is. And Kristen and I were texting about this earlier. You start on one thing, and then while you're in the middle of that home improvement project, then it's like, oh, we should also do that, and then the list just turns into something encyclopedic, and then it's like, all right, well, I guess I know what I'll be doing for the next 2 or 3 years, I suppose. You just do little things, and you get distracted, and and it's hard to focus. But we got a good supply of booze and a good attitude, so yeah, no, we're
Those
rocking
are the
it.
two things you
Yeah,
need.
it's all
Plus,
you need.
yeah, I
Yeah.
you're carrying on the East Coast tradition of baseboard restoration.
Yep.
It's a mighty
True, I don't-
tradition.
You know what? The base, they're wood. Like, I don't want to waste good wood,
Mhm.
and it's like, to me, it's worth the trouble of sanding them and priming them and doing all that malarkey. And you can, it gets late and you get a little drunk, and so the next day you can go back and touch it up and fix it in the mix, as they say.
Some
Yeah,
oopsies.
yeah.
But I have too much respect for good wood, so
Yeah.
we're trying to hang on to them.
A solid hardwood piece of furniture is worth it, because that's solid, baby. It ain't going anywhere. So it's worth the time. Like if it's particle board, you say, see ya.
Exactly. But if the bones are good, as
Yeah, you
they say,
you can put more meat on them.
you can put more meat on them.
That's a classic saying.
Yeah, even if it's vegan meat, you can put vegan meat on good bones.
Yeah, they have veggie burgers.
Yeah.
They do. Yeah, I know we had our thing about tofu a while back. And,
Yeah.
but
It's still a
we
heated
don't have to
issue.
we don't have to revisit that right now. We can talk about vegan bones and whatever. So what about you? What's shaking, Bacon?
This is pretty much it. Sort of kicking it old school. We started doing some self-defense classes, because why not?
Ooh, why not?
And everybody's in lockdown. Hopefully, or still staying away from people, and they need something to do if they are staying away from people. So we need something to do inside.
What do you call that?
Like style?
Style, I guess, is the thing. I don't know. Clearly, I know everything about martial arts, so
Yeah.
that's why I knew how to ask that question.
Well, spoiler alert, it's basically nothing. Like, I have done umpteen different styles over the course of my life, right? So, starting with karate and doing like Tai Chi and Kung Fu and ninjutsu and yada, 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 having all these things in my past. It's all pretty much the same. Like, no, you're never going to walk into one and be like, this is not how you throw a punch in Taekwondo. Like, it's all pretty much the same.
Yeah, it's lesson 1, how to punch somebody in the face. Done.
Yeah.
I'm a master. Now.
Very simple.
Much. Yeah.
It's all in the repetition.
Yeah, we started watching, we actually just started subscribing to Great Courses because they they were offering a free trial, and Stephanie was like, well, they have a yoga one. And I'm like, yeah, I need to do that. And then I also saw that they had a Tai Chi one, which is something that I've always been interested in. But the ironic thing is, I know those are both very calming,
this is true,
and mellow kind of things to do. And I'm just too lazy to do it. Just the thought of thinking about it is like, I already feel calm just thinking about not doing it. So I think, I think I win here. I win.
Yeah,
I won.
It's
success.
I'm
gonna go take another nap.
Everybody in the outside likes to think that yoga and Tai Chi are very similar. I've done them both, and I can tell you this: I cannot stand yoga, but I might be able to lay it at the feet of my shitty teacher that I had. Because I've done more Tai Chi than yoga, and Tai Chi, at least when you speed it up, you can fight somebody with it because it's all the same stuff you do everywhere else. It's just super slow. With yoga, I would never get in a downward dog position to defend myself.
Yeah, I was just going to say you look way cooler doing slow motion kung fu than downward dog. Not that yoga's not great for you.
No, it is. But
also holding still in one position is, I'm not a big fan of that. Like, it's like, can I move around a little bit and do something? Can I at least like slow motion punch something?
Yeah, you gotta start with stick fighting, Popeye.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Get yourself a couple of sticks.
Fighting.
Yeah, it's.
Oh my god.
Everybody can jump in at any time. Just get yourself a stick and start using it as an eskrima stick and start fighting. Like, it's just as good as Tai Chi and yoga. It'll limber you up and get you loose and build muscle and all of that. But you don't have to go slow, and it's fun to do.
So are you talking about like sword fighting kind of stuff, but with a stick?
Basically.
Okay. I mean, I don't want to I certainly don't want to belittle it, and but are you talking about like the kind of like it's like on God and you
no, that's
but not in a French way. You're doing it in a different kind
this
of way.
Is brutal.
And you're slapping sticks against
this is a brutal art. Let me ask you this. Are you familiar with the Netflix series Daredevil?
I am aware that it exists.
Okay, that's a good touchstone. Shit, we're falling a little short. So, but what I was going to say is his weapon when he's out there fighting bad guys on the street are eskrima sticks, because a stick is anything. A stick is a sword. A stick is any weapon is a stick.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought you were talking about an actual stick. No, that makes a lot more sense. Thanks for the education.
Yeah, that's why it's so great, because everybody can find a stick. You can go to Home Depot and find yourself a stick. But one day, if you're out in the woods and you find a sword and then you're surrounded by bears, you'll be glad you trained with a stick, because everything you do with a stick can be done with a sword.
Now, would a baseboard qualify as a stick?
It can.
Based on your definition?
It totally can. Okay. Yeah. We've accepted everything from highlighters to rulers and beyond. Yep. Juggling sticks.
Okay. All right. Well, all right.
Wrapping paper tubes.
Yep.
Now you're talking. Okay. I'm familiar with those. No, that's great. That's brilliant. Okay, good. Well, now I got a newfound enthusiasm. No, Harlow's been acting up a little bit lately, so I think she might need a little Yeah, I'm just gonna have to check in with her in a little bit and see what's up.
Stick action.
Yeah.
Yeah, we try not to go through too many paper towels, but once in a while, as environmentally conscious as you want to be, sometimes you just need a paper towel. So you end up with paper towel rollers, and we most of the time we just give them to the rabbits and let them chew on them. But
oh yeah, they have a million and one uses.
Yeah.
But now I know that. All right, that's a stick.
Yeah, paint them up, and then someone breaks in and they're like, "Time for a robbery." You say, "There's sticks everywhere. Get out of my house!" And then
wait, you said paint them up?
Yeah.
You can paint.
Yeah.
You paint yours?
Yeah, I painted mine.
You paint paper towel.
No, not paper towel. I went out and bought 6 foot of dowel at Home Depot and cut it into sticks and painted it.
Oh no, that's cool. No, that's really cool. No,
Yeah.
I was like, what else am I missing here? Because I like to get crafty. So if it means painting a paper towel roller, I would totally do that.
Hey, people surprise you. One time when I was in junior high, a friend showed up and he was very timid about something he wanted to show me. And I was like, "What's up?" And he's like, "I made some things and I don't want you to laugh." And I said, "Okay, but then it's because you said that, like it's going to be really hard." So he reaches into his backpack and pulls out like 2 paper towel and shoebox guitars that he made.
Oh, wow.
And he wanted to like use them for air guitars. And we did.
Nice.
Well, that's a great story. Well, first of all, how did they play? How was the action?
The yarn could not hold a tune. So they were mostly just the props. But that's all you need. To get into the mindset, you don't need the real thing necessarily.
Sure. Yeah. No, you did mention air guitar, but my follow-up is, what songs did you do?
Oh, so back in that time period of my life, it was Detroit Rock City, Hit Me Like a Ton of Bricks, right?
I am so with you.
So it was Dr. Love. We're here in
Yep,
Detroit Rock City. We are here in, like for the slow jams, we're taking it smooth with Beth, rock and roll night party every day, like double platinum all the way. That was the soundtrack to my junior high career.
Gotcha.
Strange too, because everybody's like, "What is this?"
No, you're really hitting me because Destroyer was the I knew of Kiss because of my older brother, but Destroyer was the album that made me want to be Peter Criss. And Detroit Rock City, like I just listened to that song over and over and over again.
And Love Gun, oh my god.
Yeah, maybe not the best thing for a 7-year-old to be listening to.
No. But that
uh,
the beginning of Love Gun, that dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, like it's just like a jackhammer of fucking
so
awesome
great.
coming into your, like, if Mark, you're still here, you know what I'm talking about.
He already yelled yes.
I have a theory, and I think everyone can agree with this theory. I believe that everyone is a Kiss fan. They just have not found their gateway song.
He says that's still my current soundtrack.
Totally. Yeah, I know Mark has Kiss playing constantly in his head.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think everybody's a Kiss fan. You just have to find the hook in, and their catalog is so big it's out there. Believe you me, everybody's a Kiss fan. You just have to find the portal.
Yes, I think you're onto something, because even when they try to do the disco kind of thing, I was made for loving you, baby.
Still not bad.
Song.
Yeah.
I like that song.
That could be a gateway song. I will say, if Christine 16 is your gateway song, then I may
a little problematic.
Not wanna. Yeah, it's like maybe you're not coming over for Sunday dinner.
Yeah. And that's the great thing about it.
I didn't know it at the time. Like at the time, I was like, oh, this is a great song. And then in my adulthood, I was like, wait a minute, let me. Can we back up this? So what's happening here? So you're an adult, and you're doing what with a 16?
I mean, Papa, you must have recognized this as well as I did, even as a child. Like who sang "Young Girl"? Was it Gary Puckett?
Oh, young girl, you're just too young.
Yeah, it's a whole song, like basically about you're so hot, but I don't want to commit statutory assault, so please get away from me. Like, what a weird song to sing.
But that's a really good, solid message.
I know.
That is an adult taking responsibility. Like, nope. Like, just no.
And not only that, like, it's such a good song melodically. I've sung it at karaoke.
Mark says, now I want a collection of Kiss covers by Popeye.
All right. I swear to you, one day I'm going to get enough money to get like a cover album of Popeye, and it'll just be like my playlist.
Right.
Okay. Well, thanks for saying that, Mark. I appreciate that you have that much faith in me. Oh, gosh. I hope the makeup is included in that budget.
Oh, yeah. I think what we should do is split your face into quarters, each one. Boom, boom, boom. 4 corners a kiss.
Yep.
First song, number 1 with the bullet, Detroit Rock City.
Okay.
Kayla said, I never minded Kiss, but didn't become a big fan until God of Thunder.
Yeah, God of Thunder's good.
Oh, and rock and roll.
Uh-huh.
Come on, don't forget that part. He's not just a god of one thing. He's that much of a god.
All the ones that Gene sang are so like they're
ridiculous.
Yes. he's kind of like their Ringo in a way. But it's totally fine because that's their motif. Like he doesn't have an octopus's garden.
The first step of the cure is a kiss. They call me
Dr. Love.
Dr. Love. Did you really have that conversation with did you walk into some place, maybe with your makeup and costume on, maybe not, but did you really have that conversation? It's like, well, actually, I don't want to boast, but they call me Dr. Love. Yeah, well, yeah.
I cannot fault them because at that point, I'm sure he was plowing through acres of chicks.
Well, yes. We know.
Like, here's the thing. If you're doing one thing exclusively, it's very easy to get creatively stymied. So if you're, 24/7 rolling through city after city, banging chicks around the clock and singing Detroit Rock City, you're going to be like, now I'm going to write a song. What have I been doing lately? Oh, yeah, banging. But I can't say I want to bang you all night. I'll say love gun, and that'll mean dick. Ding, done.
Mark says Paul wrote God of Thunder, and Paul Ezrin gave it to Gene.
Yeah, because he was like, Gene, this one's for you.
Oh, really? He's like, I don't really want to do this one.
Here you go.
Have it.
But God of Thunder is at least a little cleverer than.
But with regards to Gene Simmons, I mean, what? Yeah, exactly. What else are you gonna sing about? Like plants or flowers or something? At that point, it's like, well, not really. I mean, we kind of got here for a reason, so I guess we have to kind of.
I think
keep this going.
It's so crazy to me because I cannot think of Kiss without the satanic panic creeping in, and that whole nonsense, and then just like. I can't imagine what it was like to be holding up a sign being like Knights in Satan's service or being a part of that. And then being a part of the crowd that's like, you know what? I'm going to do a little research and listen to a song. Hearing it and hearing like the juvenile lyrics and how there's nothing about Satan and how it's mostly about fucking and partying and being like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, there's no Satan in this. What are we going to do? It's about his dick. It's not about the devil.
It's about his dick.
Oh, fuck, we just got to wait for it to die down. Oh, come on, 90s. 95, come on. What a weird time to be alive.
Yeah. And I think, they're I have a feeling that their fan club being called the Kiss Army probably didn't help matters for fearful people like they're an army.
Yeah.
Like I heard those wizards like, oh no.
But that's what you get when your members are a Beastmaster, a demon, a Star Child, and
a cat.
He was the Beastmaster, right? It was.
No, he was a cat.
So because Gene was the demon. Mark, help me out here. Gene's the demon. Ace is the Star Child.
No, Paul was the Star.
Ace was the what? He was the Space Lord or some shit.
He was in space, yeah.
He was the Space Ace. Yeah, okay. I always forget about Ace Frehley.
Yeah, and then Paul Stanley was he was a cat.
Yeah, a cat.
Meow.
A little kitty.
Well, he had whiskers and stuff. I mean, well, hey.
Meow.
Hey, you know about Harlow, so cats can they'll mess you up.
Oh yeah.
But no, I had whiskers in the whole thing, and that was.
I had.
Yeah, it doesn't really make a lot of sense when you think about it. So wait, so you've got a demon which will typically come from hell.
Yeah, and then two
And then
dudes
you've
who
got-
came from space.
Some astronomical guys, and then you got a cat.
Yeah.
Tied together. Maybe that was the whole point of it. Was that it was supposed to be confusing. I couldn't say.
It seems like they were going for like a heaven and hell sort of thing. It's like, we got the Star Child, we got the Space Ace, we got the Demon, and then we got the kitty cat.
Man. This cat man. is
He's
what-
a jungle tiger,
But I will say, I always wanted to be Peter Chris.
Yeah, I know. Peter Chris takes more shit than he deserves.
When you would do dress up time, like, let's all go as Kiss. Like, oh, what an original idea. Always had to be Peter Chris, and I wanted to be a drummer my whole life. My parents put the kibosh on that very early.
It's a loud hobby.
Mhm.
It's a loud thing. So it never happened.
Mark is a paid member of the Kiss Army.
Oh, for sure. That goes without saying.
For
Mark.
you, good man. Yeah, my brother and I used to be as well. In addition to subscribing to Mad Magazine, but
completely unrelated.
You lose track of your subscriptions over time.
Yeah, you move and they don't forward it.
It's like, so you got this random group of guys who are, in a fashion sense, they're connected. In an ethereal sense, in a backstory sense, I don't know what this has to do with anything. You guys don't seem to be connected. So let's write a song about statutory rape.
Well, that's part of it. Is like nothing fits. Like the leather gimp outfits don't fit with the face paint, which don't fit with the tone of the music. But maybe that's it. Like, it's such a bizarre spectacle, and on top of it, like their live shows are nothing but like sparklers on acid.
That's right.
So, like, it's just, like, don't get me wrong. Maybe that's what you need. You need to see the spectacle of Kiss. But, like, because hearing him, you can be like, all right, it's butt rock from the 70s. But unless you get the...
it was
you need the
much
experience.
Bigger thing than that.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah,
on a recording,
you
you lose something. Everybody needs to watch Detroit Rock City, the movie. Then you get it.
No, everyone needs to watch Phantom of the Park.
Oh, God. Kiss Me at the Phantom of the Park.
Then you'll really get it.
Yeah, then you'll get it. Then you'll be like, oh, wait, why are these guys famous?
What happened? Yeah, no, it is what it is. Oof.
Yeah, everybody tried movies. Not a lot of people worked at it. Hulk Hogan, he made a stab at it. It didn't work. That's the 90s for you. The 90s were a crazy time, but they started back in the 70s.
They did, yeah. So run me through. I mean, I could talk to Kiss, talk about Kiss all night and just say stupid shit. But run me through what the 90s episode has been all about. I mentioned the baseboards, so I haven't been able to listen.
Oh, right. Well, we're just watching 90s commercials. Yeah, we're watching 90s commercials and reliving, what advertising was like back when we were all like okay with various things. It's amazing the things that we accepted fashion-wise, culturally, and like ethically, even in our commercials, is so sketchy now. It's hilarious.
Yeah,
and it's just fun to look back at. Like now, because like in the 90s, I remember watching old-timey commercials from the 50s, and like doctors being like, "Remember to smoke your Camels after dinner, you idiot! It'll help you digest your food." And we're all like, oh, that's hilariously out of date. And now, like today, watching commercials from the 90s where it's like, eat sugar, get more sugar into your children. We need more sugar. And now today being like, God knows what my son's going to look back on his commercials, but they don't exist anymore.
Yeah, he doesn't really, we don't have cable. So the only commercials he gets are YouTube ads.
Yeah, same with us. But we do the same thing once in a while. Like we'll go down that rabbit hole and watch like a YouTube compilation of here's 80s commercials or 70s commercials and in regard to the 90s or even the 80s, it really wasn't that long ago. It seems like it just happened, but then when you compare it to what's going on now, it's like, oh my God, like things change a lot more quickly and a lot more gradually than you think they do. Another thing, we did I don't want to say we succeeded, but we watched. There's a I don't know if you know. There's a new version of Name That Tune.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Okay. Yeah, we were watching that tonight just to have something on in the background while we were doing our little painty things. And we both remember that the original show from when we were kids, and we were watching this one, and it was just, to us, it was just the most unbearable, just frustrating thing to watch. It was, and we were like, this used to be a great show. And then, we thought, well, I guess maybe we're just old fuddy-duddies or something.
I hear the thing.
Or just that TV has changed and it evolves. And
it's both.
Television is, and in my opinion, I'm going to go out. I'm going to do a little thing here.
Sure.
In my opinion, the entertainment industry is not made for people in our age groups. It's for young people.
Yeah, we're totally out of it.
They don't care about anybody who's like around 35 or 40 or older. They care less.
It's okay.
It's just like, you know what? Let's make another action hero movie. And it's like, why do you have to keep putting out action here? And then we have that conversation. God, how many Avengers movies are there? I can't keep track of them.
I fell off decades ago.
Oh yeah, I guess. Well, they're not for us because we're not going to go out and buy a mug or a T-shirt or an action figure or whatever.
Yeah.
So so then we start watching, foreign-made things on Netflix, which is fine. But we haven't been to a movie in a long time on the same note. So
the same thing happened to me. I was watching, Hulu, or maybe it was Amazon Prime, I forget, but they were like, hey, we noticed you've been watching a lot of Supermarket Sweep. So good news.
Oh my God, we love that show.
Yeah. The original one is 100% pure gold. So when they were like, hey, we're rebooting it and we're putting, what's her face from the Ghostbusters?
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Cause I saw the previews. I'm sorry, I can't remember her name
I can't
either.
But the charm of Supermarket Sweep is the fuddy-duddy host in his crazy Cosby sweater and the awkward newlyweds who are competing for $1,500 and the thick glasses and the mullet. And so I tuned in to watch the new one, and it was like people in their early 20s, and like when they were introducing themselves, they would jump out from behind the podium to twerk and shit. And I'm like, okay, this is gone.
Yeah, it was not good.
And the lights and the music.
Oh, it's so it was like they took Guts from Nickelodeon and put it with Supermarket Sweep, and they shook it up in a bag and then put an M80 in it and it exploded.
Yeah.
Leslie Jones.
Yeah, Leslie Jones. I knew it was Jones. I wanted to say Grace Jones, but that's not her.
Yeah. No, but I kind of feel like it's part of to me at least, it's part of the acceptance of, okay, I am getting older and this is not my thing.
Yeah, but part of game shows is you want the contestants and the host to be awkward. That's the draw of them. If everybody's slick and the contestants are like crumping and shit, like you don't want to see like a dance crew compete against each other at Supermarket Sweep while like there's a professional DJ in the background pumping and there's lights and fog. You want to do like a nerd vest being like, hey everybody, and welcome to Supermarket Sweep, and like there's Cheez-Its over there and look out for the inflatable root beer bottle.
Yeah, and like you can it's easier to make up fake stories about these people as contestants than on the old one than on the new ones. Like,
yeah, it's so, I don't know. It's like, my name's Kalisha and I love TikTok. And she gets out, and then there's a dude who's like, my name's Carl and I love lacrosse. And he'll like flex and kiss his biceps. I'm like, you're on Supermarket Sweep, right? Like this isn't
don't do that.
Big Brother.
But it's not for us.
Right. It's out of my league.
Do you guys have access to the Buzzer channel?
Possibly.
Formerly known as the Game Show.
The Game Show Network.
Well, you say you don't have cable. We don't either. Do you have a Roku, or what do you guys use?
We've got something. We have a stick of some kind.
Yeah, we've got a million different
and we have
streaming
a smart
services.
TV.
Yeah.
Okay. We've got something. I don't know. buzzer. Not that I work for them, but it was formerly known as the game show channel. BUZZR, and that's all they do is show old game show episodes.
Oh, my
and it's
mom watches it.
amazing.
It's so,
Yeah.
and that's why you look at it, because you want to see these awkward people like desperately try and keep their cool in front of a studio audience and the nation as they like lose like a Winnebago to somebody else or whatever.
Yeah, no. If you're into that stuff, you should definitely check it out, because it'll go back to more recent stuff like Supermarket Sweep, but then it'll get into the 70s and get into like Match Game.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
My mom and I like Betty White was on like all of the old game shows from back in the
Yes,
day, and
she
she looks
was.
just like she does now.
Yes, she
Only less
does.
wrinkles.
Yeah. It's incredible, and the further you go back, you see how much stuff would get slipped by the censors, or what was acceptable. The stuff from the 70s, like Match Game, it was everything was some sort of sexual innuendo.
Oh yeah.
And he ended up putting a blank in her blank. God, my God, what are you talking about?
For me, it's hard to watch the old like Richard Dawson Family Feuds with like to feel comfortable with him leaning over every opportunity he can to kiss every lady.
Everybody.
Well, Andy
Holy
just
Lord.
said, "Give me Richard Dawson on the Match Game."
Oh my, yeah, Richard Dawson. He was like,
Richard Dawson on the Match Game. You could tell he didn't want to be there, and I'm pretty sure everybody was drunk, but he seemed especially drunk when he would make an appearance on that show. Oh, so great. And the other thing, you can go back even further, and you can watch like the I don't know if you'd call it the golden age, but like the 1950s black and white, like the Groucho Marx What's My Line, and Password and all this stuff, and in those shows you watch them and you automatically feel like you're just underdressed to even watch this TV show, because everybody's wearing a tuxedo. The women are all wearing evening gowns, and they're they're just kind of like the panel game shows and stuff.
It's a weird inverse thing, because if you look at the early game shows, everybody is dressed to the nines, but nobody knows what they're doing. Like they're all just sort of fumbling through the games. Like game shows are new, everybody's drunk, and as we go on, like the dress code like dwindles away, but
they're still drunk.
But the professional and like there's like actually planned things.
Right.
I can't tell you how many old game shows I've seen where they're like, "Oh, you were going to do this now," and they immediately do it, and then they're standing around awkward for 4 minutes because it was scheduled for 5 and they did it in 1. And they got to go, we got 4 minutes to kill until the next cold cream commercial. So what's up with you?
Andy says Charles Nelson Riley was the king of innuendo.
Charles Nelson Riley is crazy. Was crazy.
My mom says Elliot gets excited when the people clap. Well, yeah.
Yeah, he loves that shit. Charles Nelson Riley, if you want to watch a performance from Charles Nelson Riley that you'll always love, and whatever, it's animated, watch Rockadoodle. Charles Nelson Riley is the perfect character in that film. He's a tiny little owl who's constantly pulling at his collar. And it's like tailor-made. It's like when Arnold Stang plays a cartoon turtle, if you catch that reference.
Andy says, I want more Nick Arcade, but they'd have to bring back the host. That guy seemed to hate his job.
You need it. I love the game shows where the hosts hate being there.
Adam says, I don't think he ever played a video game.
Well, because that was the early 90s. He probably grew up before video games, so he was one of these old like fuddy-duddies on the news being like, a video machine game is selling like hot cakes at local consumer markets, like on the news.
The Atari 2600.
There are video electronic gaming systems are flying off store shelves. It's going to be a hot one in 1982. You know?
Man is currently in a relationship with Ms. Pac-Man. no further information at this particular point in time.
It seems sketchy that their last names are the same and they're not married yet. I'd look into that.
Yeah, I know. Because then they had Pac-Man Jr. and it's like, well,
might be some chromosomal deviation. If you catch my drift.
What's up with that?
Answer for your crimes, Namco.
Yeah, you can't commit.
Andy says Rockadoodle is golden.
Rockadoodle is golden. But it's from that era of time right before children's feature films could stop scarring children. This was like right at the tail end. The door slammed right after this one. They're like, oh my God, we have to stop scarring our children.
They all need therapists.
Right after Rockadoodle.
Is this an episode that you've already done or one that we should do?
We could do it. If you want to watch Rockadoodle, we could.
No. I'm talking about films that aren't supposed to scar children, but they really do.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, we could definitely.
Yeah.
Like I'm like Rockadoodle is the nail in the coffin that shut the door on that. There's a lineage, The Secrets of Nim, The Land Before Time, anything made in the 70s, like anything. It doesn't matter what it is.
It was a dark time, and we had access to cable and on TV. And it was like, oh my God, I don't want to live anymore.
Yeah, and they were, like even Fern Gully was like a scary one. All these kids movies were like, guess what, kids? Everyone you know will be dead soon.
Pete's Dragon freaked me out.
No, I mean, what was that?
Pete's Dragon. That movie freaked me out, and I don't remember the whole story.
Wait, you're talking about the original one?
Yeah, with Mickey Rooney.
Where like it's half animated and half like, or the
It has its charm, but it's a very dark charm that you don't want to run into in an alley.
Mark says Return to Oz.
Return to Oz. Oh my God, do I love Return to Oz?
Is that the one with the people on the wheels?
Yeah, the Wheelers.
Yeah,
it's got TikTok. It's got Jack Pumpkinhead. It's got the Gump. My favorite Oz movie by far. Have you seen that one, Popeye?
I have not.
Oh my God, classic. What's her name's in it? She was a witch in The Craft. And she was also in The Island of Dr. Moreau. What's her name?
Oh
boy.
Her name is Marlon Brando?
Yes, it was Marlon Brando.
Yeah.
That classic lady.
Yeah. Oof, gosh, yeah.
Whatever. I can't remember her name.
No, I can't remember.
Or why I even started talking. Oh, yeah, Return to Oz.
Nancy Downs?
No.
Sarah Bailey?
No. In The Craft. There was only 3 in The Craft.
Yeah,
Chris, I love the way you're running through these.
I just Googled the witch from the Craft movie.
Well, no, I
know there was Nev Campbell and there was the
Nev Campbell.
And there was the woman who was in The Waterboy with Adam Sandler. I can't remember her name.
Why isn't anyone in the typing square? Obviously, you're a minute behind. But somebody, I need this name.
Perusula.
Yes,
Balk.
Perusa Bulk.
That was the next
Bulk.
person on my list that I was going to say.
Well, you should have finished it.
Sure.
Yeah, Perusa Bulk. Yeah, she is Dorothy. She comes back. Oz is fucked. Mumby is a nightmare. The Wheelers are, a diarrhea nightmare. The Deadly Desert is a fucking nightmare. It's all a nightmare.
It's a big old nightmare.
Okay, now I'm remembering why I never watched it. Because when it came out, I was in high school and I was working at a video rental store.
Mm-hmm.
And it came out and everyone's like, oh, Return to Oz. And other people I worked with watched it and they kind of said, yeah, we're not going to put this in the children's section.
No,
it's not good. Yeah. And that was back in the day when people would walk up to the counter and say, hey, can you recommend a good movie? And I'm like, not this one. No.
I'll put this one in the back.
Yeah, we'll just kind of.
Yeah. Return to Oz is definitely something you need to be of age to see.
I would imagine. Yeah. Yeah, because it kind of seemed like it was right up there with. I never watched. And the same thing with Labyrinth. I never watched that until. I mean, at that point, I was a teenager, so I felt like it was a little childish for me. So I didn't watch Labyrinth until I was like into my 40s, and I'm like, this is supposed to be for children, kind of like. the fuck is going on with this?
I
fucking
think
shit?"
it's subterfuge. I think a lot of these movies come out and they're like, they're for adult weirdos. Like, because the person who showed me Labyrinth was an adult weirdo.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
If you like,
Yeah.
if your favorite movie is like The Dark Crystal or The Labyrinth or any of those like weird Jim Henson-y puppet type things, that might be a red flag. It's a yellow flag for sure. Maybe a red flag.
Andy is leaving. He has to go cook dinner, and he says, "Happy anniversary."
Bye, Andy. Thanks for
Bye,
stopping
Andy.
by.
Take care.
Kayla
Yeah, I
says she
think,
was the girlfriend in Waterboy.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that was Fairuza Balk.
Okay, so I was on the right track. Yeah.
Mark said I scared my kids with Labyrinth.
Oh yeah, like
Yeah. No surprise.
I am glad I waited. I didn't like it wasn't anything intentional, but I'm glad no one showed me Labyrinth until I was an adult, and I was able to be like, oh, okay, yeah, I see the delineation between puppets and reality and fiction. That did not happen for Willow, however, which is a more fucked up version of Labyrinth in a way. It's got Val Kilmer and Warwick Davis and a meatball that turns into a dragon, and there's blood sacrifices and goo, and it's a fucking nightmare for a child. Ugh. Not meant for a child though, so that's my fault.
Yeah, there was some dark stuff in there, and I wonder if the black root was like hey kids, drugs are okay.
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe I'm reaching. I know I am. I was just trying to. That's pretty much the only thing I remember from that movie.
I mean,
and then the baby throwing up on Burgle Cut, I think was his name.
Yeah, that was the projectile vomit of that baby.
Yeah,
that was weird.
Yeah, something I'm sure you both experienced in real life.
Oh, for sure, 100 times.
Yeah.
Mark says I'm feeling persecuted by your attack on Dark Crystal.
Yeah, I forgot the Dark Crystal. It's.
I guess, I will say, my parents were pretty laid back about watching my brother and sister and I watch R-rated movies when we were way too young to watch that. Like I remember we watched like Animal House and Caddyshack. Were a couple of our favorite family movies.
Yeah.
None of us were even teenagers yet. Not even close. There was a lot of shit going on in those movies, so I think we kind of got desensitized to it.
Yeah.
A little bit. I don't know if it was good or bad, to be honest with you. I can't really say.
It's impossible. Here's what I'm wondering, because like, you're going to find out about that shit eventually. And this is my personal experience. I remember watching R-rated movies for graphic sexual content, language, and or blood and gore. And the gore and blood obviously affected me. So I think every kid should be allowed to watch a gory movie if they want to. And if it scares them away from it forever, fine. Like, that's the price. That's the ticket for admission. Prices for admission, whatever. But like, I remember watching rated R movies and hearing the sexual jokes and all the jokes I would get later as an adult, and them just flying over my head.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't think when your kid watches these movies, unless you live in a weird house that are constantly making sexual references or whatever is in this movie, it's going to sail over their heads and you don't have to worry about it. Like, I was an ignorant child. I watched a bunch of shit I shouldn't have, but I was none the wiser because I was an idiot and all these jokes were way over my head.
Yeah.
So it's like a built-in safety net.
Yeah.
Idiocy.
But at some point, if you're a kid, you're gonna ask those innocent questions to your parents.
Yeah.
And you're just gonna see the look on their face, and you're gonna learn about it anyway. You're gonna have these conversations anyway.
You got to rip the Band-Aid off, and sooner over later.
You gotta, yeah. But I think when you're like in elementary school and you're like, what's that? What is that? And I don't even want to repeat some of the shit.
Right, and
I know Ellie has to bet, but it's like, what does it mean? What is this? And like, that's when you oh gosh, it's getting late. You
Go
want
ask
some,
your
you
father.
Want some ice cream? And, yeah,
I get that now,
exactly.
but like now where everything is out in the open, like it's no longer the 50s. I don't think if you're having kids today, like there's so much weird shit going on in the world, like having to tell your kid how like, sockets and joints, interact with each other. Like That seems like it would be duck off of water's back in my mind. Like, if he ever has to ask, like, why are people racist, that's going to be a real tough conversation. But if he's like, what happens when this thing gets hard and interacts with this thing, I'll be like, oh, simple as shit. Like, that's just biology. If he wants to ask me heavy questions about, like, ethics, that's what I'm afraid of.
So you're just going to pull out the toolbox and go, here's a nut, here's a bolt.
Here's a bolt. Figure it out.
and here's some ice cream. Have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, like biomechanics I can handle. Like I won't get embarrassed about that because I would rather him know that. But I'm worried about getting cornered into the situation where, like, because I had those questions as a kid too, and I was like, well, why do some people don't like blah 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 blah? And my parents would be like, that's just the way they are, and they would spin around and sort of disappear in a puff of smoke. But I know we're going to have to deal with that because I can't just be like, some people are assholes and like spin in my chair and go back to typing on the keyboard.
Yeah, I almost kind of wonder, now that I'm thinking about it, not that I have children, and you can't have long conversations with cats.
No.
But I'm wondering now, like, would I rather have a conversation with a young person about prejudice or about sex? And I think I'm kind of leaning towards I'd rather have a conversation about prejudice because to me that's a nut and bolt situation. It's like, okay, that is wrong. Here's your ice cream. Go away. Bye.
Yeah, but it's going to be a toss of a coin for anybody getting it. But it just feels like for me, I'm just speaking purely out of being lazy. I would rather deal with the short sex question because I can explain it biomechanically and be done, and I won't have to, because if we start going over issues of race, ethnicity, religion, etc., that's going to be a long ass like sit down, put some coffee on, and I'm going to have to ask you a lot of questions, and you're going to have to ask me a lot of questions.
Wow.
I would rather be like, dick goes in the hole, bye, I got to go to work, and not like, how do you feel? Like,
no, I can totally see that point.
So I'm just lazy.
Just on the opposite page. And by the way, Krista, I'm sure you're thrilled to hear that your husband is thinking about your sex life right up there with biomechanics.
I mean, that's...
Well, no, I'm not going to talk about the emotion of it all. He's going to have questions about why things happen.
But that's part of it. That's a whole thing. It's a big part of it.
Right, but that you I don't think people make that connection. People meaning kids. I don't think, because as a kid I didn't make the connection of like doing it and having a crush on someone. But also, again, remember the context here is I was an idiot watching rated R movies and having all the jokes fly over my head. So again, maybe I don't give people enough credit because I only have myself to look back on, and I wasn't looking to bang as soon as possible. So I just assumed like that's what he's gonna be like, or whatever. I don't know. That's why you got to roll with it. I'm just saying. No. Forced into a situation having to answer one of two questions, I'm going to go with the shorter one because it's going to be less calories burned. If I got the time, we'll tackle the long one.
My mom says, so long as he doesn't ask grandma.
Yeah, man. Like, you have to gear up. And I've been because we've been having exchange students here for a while. And, I pick their brain philosophically because I know you're going to have to gear up. I don't want to be one of those parents who's like, well, here's what's right and what's wrong. Like, that's stupid. Like, I don't want my kid to be the kid who like, who told you that? And they're like, my dad. Well, no, I would rather have independent thought. And if my progeny or whoever I'm associated with does something stupid, I'd rather have them do it on their own account, not because of something I told them.
So you can be exonerated from all of it.
Yeah. If people say, what should I do? What should I do in this situation? A or B? I say, well, what do you feel like? Because what if I say A and the right answer was B and they come back at me and say, what the fuck, Dave?
Yeah.
I say, go with your heart. Yeah. I say, follow your heart. Yeah. And if you get fucked over, that's you. Hands clean.
You figure it out. Nah. Yeah. No, I get that. And again, not having any human children, I mean, I've had these conversations with other people that were a little bit younger than me and with my nieces and my nephew. But you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, we could talk for hours, and at the end of it, it kind of comes down to, just do whatever feels right.
Yeah, that's no matter how much smoke, like I can talk, believe
Don't
you
hurt
me.
anybody.
Yeah,
Don't
like,
get arrested.
no matter how much smoke you blow up your own ass or anybody else's, the moral of the story is like, as long as you're doing whatever you're doing and not fucking bothering anybody else, like who gives a shit? Like there will be people who are annoyed by you just being who you are, and they're going to live their lives angry and alone. So if you can just do your own thing, whatever, like who cares? I'm sure, like, if someone were to look at my life, they'd be like, that's boring and stupid. Well, of course it is to you. But it's all I know. It's all I know.
It's what it is. But as you know, I feel like nobody's life is boring and stupid. And
no, yeah, I'm just saying, like, it's a matter of perspective from the
but
outside.
I get what you're saying. No, I mean, clipping coupons are still very exciting for me. And, hey, by the way, Krista, hey, Krista's mom, the Love Boat soon will be making another run.
Oh man,
just so she knows, I know.
I still want on the list of things I want that I'll one day hopefully get is a list of a cover album where Harlow is the star.
Yes.
That'll be above the Kiss one. Sorry, Mark. I got to have the Harlow one first.
So what does that mean? Like just write a bunch of songs about Harlow, like Rafi or something? Is that what you're getting at?
No, like remember what was it 2 or 3 appearances ago? Your Buddy Holly Harlow cover. Yeah, just stuff like that. Classic songs that everybody knows and loves, but Harlow is our protagonist or antagonist, depending on the melody and the song.
Oh, God. So I got to come up with 10 of those? That sounds like a lot of work, man.
You can do Shiloh by Neil Diamond, and you can make it Harlow.
Harlow? Yeah, you can do that.
That's our wedding song.
Yeah, or, we can make it. It doesn't have to necessarily be an LP. It could be an EP. We can do like a 5-track demo disc.
It's a little more reasonable. The Harlow Boat. It kind of happens every day. You just, it is what it is. And I'm curious, if I may, why are you so interested in Harlow? Because we're just kind of tolerating her, to be honest with you.
I think maybe that's it. It's like she's the anti-hero of your dynamic.
She's the thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
She keeps us grounded. That's for sure.
She's come up so much. I feel like she's a part of our extended family. So even though, and that's part of it too. Is every family has a pain.
You want her?
No, thank you.
Oh.
Every family has a pain in the ass that you're like, what a pain in the ass, but they're part of the family, so we accept it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's Harlow.
No, I appreciate it. No, it's very sweet of you, and I'm really, really happy to hear it. And just for anybody who's listening, Harlow sucks, but she gets the same level of care and devotion as all of the 9 other good cats that we enjoy.
It might also be that Harlow is a really great name.
Right.
Yeah. She's got a great name. Yeah. That's all credit to Stephanie for that one.
Harlow the anti-hero.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wouldn't say hero, just anti.
Come villain.
Well, she can't hear what I'm saying. She doesn't speak English.
True.
But she sucks. She's a terrible cat. She's awful. This is part of why we're painting the baseboards, because she peed all over all of them.
Oh, yeah. Cats are the worst. But so that made me think of something, and now I forgot of it because now I'm thinking about cat pee. Because here's a story about cat pee, Popeye. When I was a kid, we had 2 cats. We had Shecky and we had Black Cat. Real original, right?
Shecky.
Shecky
Like
was
Shecky Green?
Yes. So Shecky was a white
nice.
cat with orange spots, and Black Cat was obviously a big black cat. And my mother had these, those old 70s candles that were like little red bulbs that you'd see in like Mexican restaurants or Italian restaurants that were like nice tinted glass. My mom had a shit ton of those, and the cats fucking peed in each of them, filling them up like individual urinals.
So every time you lit one, you had that wonderful ammonia scent.
Yeah, it was pretty much like, it was a wash. Because but that's the thing about cats is they'll find interesting ways to piss you off that they don't even, like, you wouldn't even think of in a million years. You think, who would piss in a candle? We're 100% safe from cat piss entering a candle. And then voila.
Because they're, they're, I mean, they have brains the size of a walnut, maybe. And they're not sitting around going, okay, what can I do today?
Yeah, it's just
really gonna fuck things up.
Whatever strikes their fancy. Yeah. Cats are kind of like prisoners.
Yeah, you can't be too angry at them about it. It's just a thing that they do, and
because they don't have concept of value.
No, they don't, and you can't rationalize with them, and you can't sit down with them and explain like, okay, this is why what you did was wrong.
Yeah, I can't tell you.
You can't do that.
I must have asked.
You know what? You're lucky to have a child, and you guys have 2 dogs, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, good, because you can kind of work. You can work with that.
Well, that just means I have 3 things who don't listen to me.
But one day you will have 1.
I said that when I got the dogs. And here we are. So my hopes are not high. I can't tell you. How many times have I asked in vain to the universe, but directed at my dogs, why did you do that?
Why did you do that? Well,
They're not going to answer.
How old are the dogs?
They're 11 now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So they're set in their ways. It's you're
they've got that mentality.
It's a lost cause. They're just going to do what they do.
Yeah, right around year 7, I realized.
But that's also okay because you can kind of anticipate. Well, you're not going to give me any surprises anymore at this point. You're just going to do what you do.
Yeah, they're set in their ways, I like to say.
Yeah. No, senior animals. That's how it is. You can teach an old dog new tricks, but then again, why?
Then why?
It's like, just do your thing.
Yeah, like whatever. Everything about being a human is complex and infuriating. But then you try and mix in, like, trying to be a human by yourself is infuriating. But then you're like, oh, I'll throw a dog or 2 into the mix, and other humans, and before you know it, your life is a tangled mess of wires and cables.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I don't have enough complications in my life right now.
Yeah, we just invite.
What can I introduce into this scenario? Yeah, I know we do it.
We start out and like we have a yo-yo and the string's all in knots, and we go, crap. So finally, when the last knot is done, we turn around and someone hands us a dump truck full of tangled Christmas lights, and that's life. You go, oh shit! That's when you get out of school. All right, better get to untangling. Christmas is coming.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Well, all right. Well, I got to get back to the baseboards. I also have to go to the bathroom. My phone's dying. I'm out of booze. I'm sitting up here in my office. So many reasons to get off the phone with you right now.
Well, yeah, but since it was such a short call, maybe we'll get to stretch it out a little longer next time.
Oh yeah, I know. Well, this is what happens. I was like, hey, I'm just calling to say hi, and I'm like, oh crap. And I know, and Stephanie's been furiously, taping up the walls, and there's going to be, we're still, it's not, it's only like about 15 minutes to midnight, and we're night owls, so gonna pop open another bottle of wine, and just kind of go for it. And
something about doing stuff at night just makes it feel more like pure,
Mm-hmm.
You can, anything you do during the day, you're like, ugh. If you do it at night, you're like, ooh.
Yeah.
You can't even describe the feeling.
Yeah, I think it's because, well, for me, it's always
naughty.
been like, all right, well, here's another 30-minute conversation. So, for me, it's always felt like, okay, everybody else is done and has gone away, and now I don't have to deal with anybody. I'm all by myself. I can bring down my defenses, and I can do whatever the bleep I want.
Yeah, it's time to live.
Yep.
Yeah. Or maybe I just don't like to go to bed. It could be that too.
Either one is fine. Like because at night you feel like everything at night feels a little bit better, even if you're not a night owl. Like you're like, oh, I'm so sleepy. I hear that all the time. Oh, it's 8 o'clock soon. Whatever. Like just commit to doing one thing at night and just take stock of how it feels. And I guarantee you'll love it. And you'll do one thing at night every night. it makes you feel just
Yes.
a little bit better. I don't know
Yeah.
why, but it does.
Yeah. No, I'm totally with you. And anybody that's bright-eyed and bushy-tailed in the morning, that is someone that you automatically should not trust.
Yeah, like
Well, hey, now.
Everybody should be a little tired and a little
yeah,
groggy in the
okay.
morning.
Yeah.
Everybody should show up to work and be like, "Yeah, give me a minute."
yeah,
'Cause,
every
I gotta let me get my coffee. Just pretend to work for the first 15 or 20
Pretty
minutes. I'm
much.
supposed to be doing
My
this.
alarm,
Yeah.
my alarm goes off at 5, and I roll out of
Oh
bed,
God.
and I go to my desk because I work from home, and I clock in at 5:10, and I make coffee, and then I'm like staring at my computer. I'm like, okay, give me till 5:30, and
yeah,
then
you
I
wait
can-
until the
Yeah.
computer boots up.
Right.
If someone rolls out of bed, then they're like, "Dee dee diddly lee," you're like, "What the fuck is
Like,
going on with that person?"
Yeah. No, you check in to see if there are any fires you need to put out, and if there's not, it's like, okay, I can kind of,
Yeah.
I can downshift. I can go back into first gear right now. That is the American way.
Yeah, I don't want to say that if you get up and you're one of those people who's like up and ready to be a happy little elf immediately, but realize this, happy morning people. Those of us who aren't don't want to fucking deal with you, so keep your happiness away. Like, you're happy, great. Your happiness will make us miserable.
Right.
Keep it
Yeah.
away.
Yeah, I wonder if they're masking something.
I
I
don't
show
know.
up 10 minutes early to everything. I really don't care, and I'm not impressed.
Yeah,
I show
like-
up 10 seconds early to everything. That's called being on time.
Yeah,
Right.
my time is valuable, so I get there when I am needed. How about that?
I want that extra 10 minutes, man, even if I'm just literally, and this has happened, if I'm literally just staring at a blank wall for 10 minutes. Like, I'm not going to work now. I'm not starting work
It's
because
sort
I
of
don't have to. For another
power
10
down.
minutes. So I'm setting my timer for 9 minutes and 30 seconds, and I'm just going to stare at
Yeah.
nothing.
My
It's
mom,
going to feel great.
my mom's alarm goes off at 4, and she snoozes for a half hour before she gets up.
Yeah, it's like in your brain, you can see the gears. You're like purposefully pulling them apart, and you go, "Boo."
But
And then the
for-
alarm hits,
is
and they
it-
go back together.
Krista, is your mom a coal miner? What? Why?
No,
Why?
that's just my
Some
mom
people are
always
just
gets
weird.
up early
You
and goes
just-
to work, so do I.
You just do that thing. Okay, yeah, my mom's an early riser, even if she said, "Oh, I slept in yesterday until 8." And I'm like, "What are you talking about? Like, that's not sleeping in." Like, what are you doing? Yeah, no, it's just a thing. I think it's right up there with like which way you install the roll of toilet paper. It's like,
No,
does
there's a
it really
right way and there's a
matter?
wrong way. There's a right
Well,
way, Popeye.
I agree, but you have to accept other people feel differently.
The hell
That's
I
fine.
do. I will rip out that toilet paper roll and I will spin it myself.
Have you done, if you've gone over to like a friend's house or a relative's house and you've used their bathroom, have you switched their roll of toilet paper?
Yeah, I'm not going to torture myself for their amusement.
So you have done that.
Yeah, if I sit down and I look and it's hung in the improper underhand fashion, I go, I
that's-
pop that baby out, spit it, and then I put a little note saying, "You can thank me later, you fucking animal."
So you carry a notepad with you when you know,
Yeah,
like,
I always
I may have to,
I was like, "Oh, I'm going to the bathroom. Let me grab my Post-its.
let me grab,
Post it to the nice number 2. To whom it may concern." I always start it.
I don't know if that's punk rock or just OCD, but it's pretty hilarious either way.
It's a very niche form of review.
Yeah, I would say that. I would say so. Yeah.
But, you know, people
what
love
else
it.
would you call that?
There's got to be a
All right.
technical term. I'll think of a scientific one later. But Popeye, thanks for coming on the show, man.
Oh man, no, thanks for taking my call. I'm glad we
Yeah.
could catch up. It's always a blast. Again, happy anniversary to both of you. I love you both. I hope someday we get to meet in person. Maybe someday.
When there's no more virus.
Hey, I wish you guys all the happiness in the world and many, many more years of happiness. And good luck with your conversations with Elliot over the years.
I've got some time.
I've got a whole lifetime to go over it, so I've got it.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm going
All
anywhere.
right.
All right, buddy.
Well, hey,
we'll
you
talk
guys-
to you later.
Yeah, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and yeah, I'll send you some pictures of the baseboards once they're eventually done. and let
Do
you
it.
know.
I'll get them
Yeah,
all over
like-
the Facebook. I'll meme the
yeah,
shit
like,
out of them.
Yeah, in like 6 months from now, when we're actually done with all these projects, I'll send you some photos.
Yeah.
These boards got
All right,
base.
guys. Well,
Awesome.
take care, and yeah, I'll talk to you soon.
All right, buddy. You have a
Thanks.
good one.
All right, bye, guys.
Bye.
Well, look at that, everybody. Happy little guest popping in.
Happy little guest.
Happy little tree. And now we've been going for an hour and a half. We got to watch 8 minutes of commercials. I feel like we probably don't need to go back to the commercials, right, guys? You're probably ready to check out after an hour and a half of watching us. Oh, man. But 90s commercials, am I right? They were crazy. Jeans for women.
Jeans for women. Kayla says my ex always installed TP the wrong way. That wasn't one of the reasons we broke up, but it kind
Should've
of
been.
was.
Yeah, it should have been. Like, there's some people will tell you, there are red flags early on in relationships that you should look for, like how they treat servers or tech support people, how they treat the least important people in their life. Like if they show them respect or disrespect, that is a good rule. The second rule to remember is if you step into their bathroom and their toilet paper is less than 2-ply and or is hung in the improper backwards barbaric fashion, red flag, maybe even more than everything else. Also, if there's like a lot of, like if you lift up the toilet tank and there's a lot of beers floating in there, like they're a secret drinker, that's even better than the toilet paper thing. I would rather lift it and see a bunch of old Milwaukee than to have that toilet paper hanging around the back so I have to jam my fingers in there like an ape trying to get a berry out of a machine.
Oh my god.
Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed all that kiss talk. I know
Lots of
Mark
kiss
did.
talk.
So how do you close a show like that?
We'll have to do another 90s commercial.
We'll do another 90s commercial. This one sort of got cut short.
Sorry.
But hey, it was a nice pivot. So guys, let's just start wrapping it up because it's getting late, as you heard. It's different times all over the U.S., so God knows where you are. It's probably pretty late.
Oh, and I want to thank everybody for helping and contributing to the FFOP scrapbook.
Yeah, I can't wait to go through this whole thing. It looks super cool. So thank you for everybody involved with that too. Thank you for all the support. If you hit like, if you subscribe to the podcast or this show or the YouTube channel or whatever, I love it all. Thank you so much. If you're not in our Discord, you probably are, right? Because everybody here is.
Except for Kayla.
Except for Kayla. But she's got her technology blind spots we allow.
Yes.
Moderators are allowed special privileges.
Correct.
Those being blind spots in technology.
Yes.
Which is totally fine. Still rocking a flip phone. Allegedly. I have not checked in recently, so probably still though. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for coming and hanging out with us for our anniversary show where we started to watch commercials, but then Popeye called and we talked about a bunch of crazy shit.
Yep.
We will see you next time. I've got a podcast in the can. I just have to edit it. Been running a little behind because we're moving all the gear, and I'm also on a different show that I've been plugging relentlessly, but you know all of that. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'm Dave. That's Krista. We'll see you next time on another live show, which will